Welcome to Gray Overload, and we have Xbox releasing some games for PlayStation again. Now, we knew that this was coming. We knew more and more games from Xbox are going into PlayStation, which, as long as you're still giving a benefit to your fans, the Xbox fans, Microsoft in some way, is a logical step, right? Microsoft has spent way too much money on buying up the game industry, it seems like, and they need to make that money back. Hopefully, to put more money into games so us gamers can actually have more content to play. But April 17th will be the next step in PlayStation 5 getting Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Looks like pre-orders already, and from what I can tell from some of the reporting is that they are getting some good pre-orders. In certain areas, they're taking the top spots in between Indiana Jones and Forza Horizon 5 in different regions. And I was looking at some news today, and I've been very impressed. And while I hope that what Microsoft does is succeed with all the game purchases, because I, I really want good games to come out and still have more content, and hopefully new IP will appear and will have better benefits of this, right? If it were to go the other way and Microsoft's not going to be able to capitalize on this, it's going to be a real disappointment to me. And I think a lot of gamers are going to be disappointed to see if Microsoft can't succeed at this, because we want to see more IP. We want to see, games get completed and games get released. Otherwise, the point of Microsoft to buying Activision, Blizzard King, ZeniMax, and all these other studios was to just ruin the gaming industry, and that outcome I do not want to see. And so, if Microsoft can get this, I know that they still have a full Game Pass thing that they want to do, and they can hopefully succeed in there. I still haven't got on Game Pass. I've tried it out on that sweet deal that they had way back when, where you converted your gold to that and you got extra months or whatever. It was a really cool deal, good deal, but that is that is long gone, and I haven't got back on it. But if you're playing, a game or two a month and you're on Game Pass, it might make a lot of sense. For that, I don't remember all the cost of it, but you know, if Microsoft can deliver on that, if Microsoft can get these games out to on these third party consoles to them, right? Like PlayStation, Nintendo, other platforms, I think a lot of people will be happy, and hopefully it'll grow the ecosystem, and it might even bring some more people into the Xbox gaming umbrella, right? And that doesn't mean that they'll go out and buy an Xbox, but maybe the next step is PC, right? I think if I'm recommending something today and recommending what somebody should go out and buy, I think it's going to be, to me, it's a PC, right? You can play a lot of games and go from there. Now, I get it, right? You just want something to plug in and go. Well, then I'm recommending a console, right? I'm going to say, well, pick which other console you want and then go and play, right? And there is the Switch 2 that is getting more notes of games that are coming on as well, or rumored to have more games that are going to be coming on it as well. So that is one thing where I'm excited to see what Microsoft is all going to put on the Switch 2. There's been limited stuff on the original Switch, and if they can get more games on there, I think that even becomes an attractive console option or handheld option, that if Microsoft decides to release a handheld, might come up against a hard bargain to be like, okay, if a lot of the games are on the Nintendo Switch from Microsoft, but none of the Nintendo games are on the Xbox One, which one are you going to buy? I'm kind of I miss some of the Nintendo games. I haven't played them in a while, and I hope that they would come up to everything else, but they haven't. And one of the reasons I've thought about, oh, maybe I'll get a Switch or something like this, or another Nintendo product, is to play some of those games, even older product, just to play some of the games I used to play when I had a Wii, which was fun. There was Zelda and stuff like that on there, Super Smash, some of those games I really enjoyed. And so to go back and remember those games and play them, they were fun. Nintendo does a good job with storylines and overall does a good job in general with their games. And if they're not on there, I think that could be a barrier if you have a lot of games on, a lot of Xbox games on the Switch to Switch 2, I should say, to see if you're going to jump over. You also have Steam and the Steam Deck there, and then you have the Alloy, which is now running SteamOS, and Windows. You have all these other handhelds. Microsoft, I think, would be their best option is to work with other companies and get Xbox branded ones. But I think what Microsoft's going to do is they're going to want an ARM chip in it, and have the ARM chip be the selling point of their innovation for their handheld. But that's besides the point. I was wanting to still focus a little bit more on the gaming side of things with PlayStation and Nintendo here, and it looks like they're doing a good job. I mean, you're looking at number one, number two in certain areas of the uh, world, depending upon where it is, for Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones. And if they can keep doing that with their games, even though they are delayed, right? They're out for PC, out for Xbox. But if you do this, guess what? I think that you're going to have, even though it's a delayed launch, I think you're going to have some success, and you're going to have people that want to play the game. And hopefully, in the end, which is what I really want, is it to benefit all of us gamers in a good way, in a way that we still get more content, we still get more games to play, and we all are able to enjoy it. Because I think games need to be not only preserved so that we can play them, share them with our kids, our grandkids, and hey, this is what games used to look like. This is a fun game what I used to play when I was a kid, right? But we also need to have new IP and new innovations so that we can see, some of these good artworks. And if the money dries up, that would not be a good scenario for Microsoft. So hopefully we'll see that there. We're seeing some things with some game bar stuff. Microsoft's been changing their game bar improvements as well, and then the Xbox app with that mock-up with Steam on it. There's all these things that I think Microsoft's trying to make for center point of games. Microsoft, you make the PC a little bit more easy. Those games start up and have just like AMD has done this. Even Nvidia to a point is doing this as well with DLSS and what HyperRX, of just turning stuff on for the user to make it really simple for users to get in, turn stuff on to the drivers, and then get playing a game. That's not a bad option for Microsoft to maybe have an Xbox gaming mode. You have the game bar, you have the Xbox app, you get all the games that you can import into one. Make it simple. People can sign into Steam, sign into maybe GOG, Epic Games, what EA has, something, I think Origin. um, you just sign all these up, and guess what? You're off to the races. You have all your games in one thing. You can click on it, start playing it, make it simple, make people get in, make it pretty close to a console, and how people can get started and get playing and enjoy their games. And then you have people like me that want to tweak it and turn on their settings a certain way. I think that you could get that to be your console, and maybe we'll end up there. And then people have Nintendo and Sony as well, and you have the best of all worlds in whichever one you choose. Maybe they'll do that. Your games are everywhere. There's hope for that one day. So with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always more of, let's get games out there, let's get people playing games. But companies like to hold it to the vest. But even Sony has been adding more and more games to PC. With that, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, watch another one of my videos. That really does help out the channel. Until next time, God bless.